Hi, my name is Jacques, and I'd like to welcome you to this How Do I video. This is How Do I Add Guests. The first thing you have to understand with Reunion Tools with respect to guests is that every guest or every individual belongs to a group, whether they're an individual and a group of one, or a couple and therefore a group of two, or a family of six and therefore a group of six. So let's take a look at our Manage Guest List tool. Now, if you've just started your account, you are not going to be able to access the Add Groups or Edit Groups tabs. You'll go to the Change Welcome Email tab. Here you need to add an email which welcomes people to your site. This is sent out with their username, their password, and your site location. And anyone you add with an email address is automatically going to receive their own username and password so they can access your site. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into adding a group. Now this is an example of adding, first we'll add just a single individual. And we're going to call this individual Fred Flintstone. And he's male. Now there are a lot of fields here. We don't necessarily have to add them all. If he's got an email address, he'll be able to go in and change his own information. So we'll make that, we're just going to set that to our support address. And for a single individual or for a group head, in other words, the head of a family unit who's going to add their own spouse and perhaps children, that's really all you have to do, and we create the group. And now the group's been created. You can see it over here on the right hand side. And now let's say we're going to create a new group, and this group is going to be a couple which is not online. And this is going to be Barney Rubble, male again. We're not going to add an email address this time. And later on, you can go back and you can fill out the rest of this, or you can choose to do it now, but in the interest of speed, we will skip all of that. So now I've created the group. You can see we have Barney Rubble over here, and we're going to add his wife, Betty. And we're going to intentionally make a mistake here. We'll leave that as male. And now we've added Betty, but now we realize that we made the mistake. You can use these links here to jump to the group and make whatever necessary edits have to be done. In this case, we'll make Betty female. And that's it. Let's go back to manage our guest list. So that's how you add an individual, and that's how you add a group. Pretty straightforward. Another option you have is to upload multiple groups. Now I'm not going to actually do the upload, but what you need is a spreadsheet or a CSV file with the first name, the last name, an email address, and then a column for sex, male or female. You don't necessarily have to include an email address or sex. It just gives you an opportunity to automatically generate their username and password. We go here, select Browse, load a source file, then that will upload, and then you simply create your group. It takes about a minute and a half. And that really is all there is to adding groups. Now let's say that you want to edit a group after you've added it, sometime after. You go to the Edit Groups tab, which is the default tab. You can hover over each group to see who the members of the group are, and we're going to edit the Barney Rubble group, and we're going to add another member. Bam Bam, I think was his name. You do not need to add last name. It'll automatically be added. Update guest. And now it's going to redirect me, and here's Bam Bam. Now if we want to update group information, that works the same way. Let's just add a state, Alaska. That sounds like a good place for them. And that's been added. And that's really all it takes to flesh out your guest list. Thanks for watching.